Hello friends, in this video I show you how to work with Nikto. Nikto is an open source web server scanner and it is useful to test web servers for potentially dangerous files or programs. But be aware that Nikto is obvious in log files and IDS IPS systems. That's why you need to use VPN or Tor to cover your identity. In this video I use OWASP BWA as a web server because depends on your connection speed or the web server, how fast the web server is. Nikto takes time to test web servers. It takes time to test web servers, maybe some minutes or some hours. That's why we use OWASP BWA. The first thing that you need to know before use Nikto commands is how to get help from Nikto. You can type Nikto followed by tag H, tag lowercase h to get help from Nikto, and it shows you some options, some switches as you see. But if you want to get a full help from Nikto, you need to type uppercase H, Nikto tag uppercase H, and as you see it shows you all options. In this video we work with some options like display, mutation, mutate, tuning, and some others. It's a good practice to look at these options and learn how they work before starting using Nikto in a production environment. Another useful help page is man page for Nikto. It shows you all information that you need to know about Nikto. The first command that we use in Nikto in this video is Nikto tag H followed by the IP address or domain name. We use this IP address 192.168.214 followed by the port number tag P80. But if I hit enter, Nikto doesn't show us any information because we use IP address followed by tag P. We need to specify the port call in another way. The IP address followed by colon 80, and Nikto start testing against the web server. This depends on your connection speed or the web server. It takes time to show you the results, the test results, so you need to be patient in production environments. I cancel the test. And if you want to know why we use tag H, it is because if we don't use it, Nikto shows us the help page, as you see here. So we need to type tag H in all commands. Let me start an unserve. Nikto tag H https://hack.me. This website is for educational purposes, so it's not illegal to use it. :AD. Of course, you don't have to use AD because it's the default port number, and as you see here, when you use the domain name, it shows you some information like server. In this website use Microsoft IIS 7.5, but if I use the IP address instead of the domain name, we get another result. And as you see here, it doesn't show us the server. So in some cases you need to use domain name, and in some others you need to use the IP address. Also, we can use tag P for multiple port numbers in a command. For example, Nikto. Let me increase the font size so you can see the commands better. Nikto tag H 192. But if you want to use the IP address, we need to type http:// and then the IP address. If we want to use tag P and some port numbers, for example 22 AD and 4443. And it starts to test the port numbers. I cancel the test and see what happens if I don't use HTTP. It doesn't show us. It usually doesn't shows us any result. The other option or the other switch is tag SSL. Tag SSL solely test SSL on the port that you specified, and it speed up request to HTTPS. For example, Nikto tag H 192.168.2.14:443 and tag SSL, and it just tests the SSL. The other option is tag display. It shows us cookies, URLs that are require authentication, and 200 OK responses and some others. So type Nikto -h 192.168.2.14 AD tag display followed by the reference number or reference letter. In this case we use 2 as the reference number because we want Nikto to show us cookies. But be aware that options are case sensitive. We cannot use lowercase d instead of the uppercase d, and it starts to test for cookies. I cancel the test and you see that we have cookies. If I use lowercase d, you see that it shows the help page, so it's case sensitive and you need to know it. The other reference number is 3 for 200 OK responses. And you can see these 200 OK responses here. Reference number 4 is for URLs that are required for authentication.